Come on. Get them shackles off him. Poor sod can't eat proper.
Dunno. I'm not sure I like that. What if he runs for it? He's worth a heap of coin.
Ah, bollocks. Been holding him a week, hasn't tried a thing. Why are you up and bolt now? Matter of fact, got to thinking. What did a sweet, gentle chap like him do to get the Queen's Heracles so riled?
She's a shrew, that's queen and witch in one. Worst of both worlds.
Enough about her. What do you say to one more of your tales? While we toss down some cards.
Ah, why not? And since you mentioned one queen... The year 1267. War hung in the air, its scent palpable. The mighty empire of Nilfgaard stood poised, greedily eyeing the northern realms just across the Yaruga. In light of the threat, the realm's sovereigns met in summit. They made declarations, pledged fraternal assistance, forged alliances, and then, in good spirits, dispersed. Among them, Meve, Queen of the Twin Realms Lyria and Rivia. Know the name? Heard her beauty extolled? Justly so. Remarkable she was. Not for her graceful exterior, but for her persistence and courage. Where was I? As the Queen and her retinue neared her capital, Count Caldwell appeared. In Meve's absence, the Count was to have helped her son, the youthful Prince Willem, run the Twin Kingdoms. Caldwell had clearly ridden hard. Drops of perspiration dangled from his whiskers, his neck red and chafed from a ruff, starched stiff.
Hail, Your Majesty. Delighted to see you in good health.
Yes, at its end, letters were exchanged, documents signed. That will suffice as cordialities go, Caldwell. Tell me what's happened, for I sincerely doubt...
Indeed, Your Grace. The strays of Sparla, the bandits, I was to tend to during Your Grace's absence.
I deliberated. Wasn't at all certain in giving you the task. I knew you to be an equally good strategist as I am a shepherdess. So my intuition said no. Yet Reynard interceded on your behalf. Your Grace, they're common bandits, while the Count will have a hook next time. I shall trust them. All right, speak.
As Your Grace ordained. I set out and was nipping at the bandits' tails for long. We pursued for weeks, until scouts returned, having sighted the strays' camp in the forest near Alas, it proved a ruse. We found the tents empty. Straw-stuffed dummies round the fire. Soon, we learned that as we waited for the sunset, the strays had...
I beg your pardon, my lord. The tax collectors.
So the gold?
Stolen, Your Grace. But I shall do all in my power to recover it.
After weeks in the saddle, Your Grace's wishes are modest. A hot bath and a night's sleep in her own bed. I must look personally to this matter. Your force, Caldwell, I will now command. You... send a herald to Hawksburn. They must prepare for the Queen's arrival. Air the room. Do you see now, Reynard? I believe I foretold it would be thus. My son wasn't ready in the least to rule an entire country.
I confess, Prince Willem has much to learn yet.
Yes. And very little time.
couple of bandits riding.
Milka. They stretched her over a fire till she told them where she buried her gold.
Count Caldwell rode at the column's head, scanning its flanks with a wary eye that, despite his advanced age, proved very sharp indeed.
Your Majesty! Bandits! There! At the tree line!
The Count's footmen, unaccustomed to escorting their queen, sought to shield her with their bodies and assumed a tight formation to do so. They were promptly knocked aside as Meve charged headlong at the bandits, brandishing her blade and bellowing a ferocious cry.
Attack! Charge!
To attack the Queen? An outrage!
Your Grace, the men await. You must lead to begin the attack.
Give me a target.
Salt of the earth, they are, Your Grace. They'd follow you into fire. You need simply say the word.
I shall teach you to respect the crown, you dogs!
Look out! Seek cover! We are bombarded!
What? Who dares?
This eyes.
The strays took tail and run. Yes! Our victory is assured! Sound the horns! May they sing praises of this triumph for ages!
battle's not yet done. It is better to conserve our strength, prepare for a strike that will prove decisive. Battle formation! Protect the Queen!
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
I've hit the white of an eye from half a league away.
Our ballista, your command.
Yeah, yeah!
Armor won't save them.
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
I congratulate you on your latest victory, Your Grace. The bandits stood not a chance.
Matters seem indeed to have gotten out of hand, to put it mildly.
Meve said, arms crossed atop her shining breastplate.
They've grown bold. Doubtless after the raid on the manor, the tax collectors. I've not heard of an ambush on the high road afore.
Caldwell explained.
I do adore this prospect.
Yes. Lyria, the Pearl of the North. With its hills and dales. Why, its beauty matched only by that of its queen.
After 3 weeks in the saddle, I've my doubts, Count. We shall pitch camp here. Our soldiers need respite. A spell of it they deserve. bit of respite, Reynard?
Yes. But if you've any new orders, Your Grace, I can be ready at any...
At ease, Reynard. Alas, I've come to fear Willem might simply not be cut out to be a king, let alone a good one.
A harsh judgment, Your Grace. Let's not be hasty. The prince is but 16 summers to him.
And is thus fully grown. The crown he should be able to bear at his age. Yet I left the land in his care for but a few months, and look what's become of it. Bandits...
We might yet learn of mitigating circumstances. Events beyond his control.
Would that it were so, Reynard. Would that it were so. Elsewise we must hope Ancaeus will demonstrate more wit than his brother. Though I see little chance of that either. Don't you find it wearisome sitting alone?
Your concern, I most appreciate, Your Grace.
Has it always been thus with you?
Quite the contrary, Your Grace. As a youth, I
So what was it that changed you?
That delight nearly cost me my head. But do you truly not know the tale, milady? How I came to...
I don't. But would glad...
I had but 20 winters behind me when I enlisted. Yet I was granted the rank of lieutenant from the start. Not by merit, but by birth. The respect of veteran officers, both my peers and seniors, that they could not grant. Nor did I desire. To earn that respect became my driving aim. And to seem wise beyond my years, I began spouting off about the king's decisions. This maneuver Reginald botched. That he failed to think through. And yet elsewhere...
Talk of that nature could only ever result in
It was not long before I was clanking about in shackles. Another officer had reported me. I was charged with lèse majesté. The court-martial took but a quarter of an hour to deliver verdict and sentence. But Reginald first stayed the execution, then ordered that I repeat every word I'd uttered about his person or deeds. Soaked with sweat, Reginald listened, raptly and silently. And when I'd finished, he declared I was right.
Indeed. Though hardly sharp himself, wisdom in others Reginald both recognized and heeded.
It was then I swore two things. Firstly, never again to wag my tongue like a...
And you never did. Know what he told me moments before he passed? Trust none of them, Meave. Savour it. I thank you for sharing that tale, Rain. It's time I attended to other matters.
Is this what I pay taxes for? To be robbed along the high road, and in broad daylight, no less? Were it not for mandatory merchant routes and stacking rights, why, I'd have gone round, through Sodden.
Gods of mercy! Whatever is this filth?
Necrophages. Drawn here by blood scent.
For such vile monstrosities to prowl the high roads of my realm. I won't allow it! Attack!
broad daylight, with the heat positively sweltering. Have we to do with some manner of sorcery?
We shouldn't exclude the possibility, my lord. And great caution we must exercise.
Reynard, what is this? Some spectre? A strigger?
I can't be sure, your grace. It's the first I've seen of any such... thing.
Should have listened to me old lady.
These carrion eaters. I know them. Appeared on my estate last spring, enticed by the corpses of those of my sheep that fell. Harmless at first. Until, that is, they fill their guts. Seemed to become quite powerful then.
Fearsome they look, true. But they bleed just as we do. Onward! Slay the filth!
Our ballista, your command.
So fortunate we routed the beasts before they had a chance to gorge.
This harvest, we'll be reaping black-clad heads.
Your grace, yet more come.
They fill their bellies, ma'am. This doesn't bode well. Oh no, not well at all.
I'm a war servant.
Strong as steers they've grown. And they show no fear.
Frenzied, my lady. It's bloodlust. They lose all instinct to survive, feel no pain whatever. I've witnessed this before.
Your Majesty, we must give ground. Fall back. We can't win. Must minimize our losses. My queen, there is no shame in ceding the field when fortunes turn sour.
Victory must be ours now. We shall not retreat. Arms at the ready. Attack! Look there! Yet another abomination.
Ugh, that stench. My salts. Where are my salts?
Her Majesty knows what she's doing.
One vote, all I
The beasts hadn't a chance against us. Victory is ours.
Many trees we've felled, my lady. Might you have need of them? So, take whatever your heart desires.
The masks they wear. Have you seen them? They've fangs, snouts, horns. Like a right proper nightmare.
Soon, Queen and retinue arrived at Hawksburn. The men stationed there they found standing at attention, baking under the blistering noonday sun.
Your Majesty, Count Caldwell.
Stand at ease, Sergeant, and report.
The local peasants we've rounded up in the yard, Your Grace. Expect they might have lent the bandits aid. Yet our courtesy hadn't inspired them. Might it please Your Grace to summon the hangman? He ties a noose for them, should have...
I'll speak to them first.
Your Majesty, for the Queen to question common...
Whom for? I shan't be stripped of crown and titles for it, so no impediment do I see. Lead me to them.
Bow low for your sovereign, Her Majesty, Queen Maeve of Lyria and Rivia.
Ha' mercy, Your Grace. We bear no guilt, we simple folk.
Lyria, the city. Ever been to the castle there?
Nay, milady. And never ventured from his home, truth be told. Farthest I went was...
It has a dungeon. And in that dungeon, I've a special cell I call Ceci. Now, Ceci's not much. A round ditch with an iron grate. But you see, Ceci is so narrow, so tight, that once inside her, you cannot move. Not turn, not crouch, not lift an arm. You've a choice to make. Tell me what I must know. Or live your days out with Ceci.
Ha' mercy, milady. Nay, we'll tell all, everything.
The bandits. Whom do they follow?
Him, milady. We've seen him. No name, just an odd title. The Duke of Dogs, they call him.
My. A blue-blood thoroughbred mutt. Where are he and his hounds bound? Did he say?
Thou recall, Imogen? What do you name? A Gleeton or something?
Clayton. Lord Clayton. His estate...
Sound the horns. Have the men form up. We march at once.
Milady! I'll be no higher for the Duke. He's a good man. Gave us proper brass for the welcome we gave him. Shared what grub he had.
Shut it, louts. The Queen's had her say. Your Grace, your orders. What are we to do with them?
The Duke of Dogs fed you, so you've strength enough to carry arms. And as he gave you coin, you've no need of pay from the realm's coffers. Sergeant, all men of 15 summers or more will join our ranks at once. They'll serve 5 years.
No, milady. No! 'Tis mere weeks to harvest. Who'll tend to fields?
Maeve set off toward Lord Clayton's estate at a gallop, her mount knocking the peasants aside as it kicked up a cloud of dust. The folk of Hawksburn spoke of the royal visit long after, albeit ever behind closed doors and in hushed tone.
What is this, Reynard? Bandits attacking royal tax collectors in broad daylight.
They shall pay dearly, Your Grace.
They shall indeed. And... That rumble. What is it?
Look out! Rock slide!
The bluff crumbles! Fall back! Save yourselves!
Your Grace, the wagon. We can use it as cover. Forward. We must move it forward.